come on in. You're here on a great day.
We are off to have some root beer today with MacDuff's Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to show you the one other root beer scented thing we have in our den.
Y'all, this is from Lather. It is a root beer scented EDP that you put on. And you notice I say you put it on. Fruity Hoops from Lather is one of my most used EDPs. I love this thing. It is exactly like Fruit Loops with the intensity turned up a little. So I was kind of crestfallen when I got their root beer, and it was supposed to be modeled after Bark's root beer specifically. But I got some like stanky leather in the middle of this. It just does not come together from my nose. And y'all, I know this root beer.
I think for me, it just kind of smells like it's a diet root beer, like it's missing something a little sugary and gourmandy fun.
That's exactly it. And if you have a choice between a root beer and a diet root beer, well, what's the point?
I think if you just read herb and spice on here and didn't know it was supposed to be root beer, you'd enjoy it. But for some reason, we're expecting that childhood nostalgia, and it's just not quite hidden the way we want it.
It's just not sweet. It's not like sugary. I don't know how to better explain it. Well, what is our soap today?
We have Birch and Root, which I've heard has a little bit of a root beer vibe from MacDuff's Soap Company.
That'll fix it for me. Let's meet it. All right, y'all, from the sales page at MacDuffSoapCompany.com.
Classic root beer scent, drawing inspiration from more traditional recipes that include anise and evergreen.
And a quote from Sean. While I had the option to make this a pure essential oil scent, some of the essential oils are known skin sensitizers past a certain percentage. To be on the safe side, this scent is 50-50, a blend of fragrance oils and essential oils, while we comply with the IFRA standards. If you are sensitive to spice oils, be sure to do a small skin test before full use. From MacDuff. The trifecta for me growing up was Coca-Cola, Bark's root beer, and of course, Texans, Dr. Pepper. What were your favorites growing up?
I liked Fanta. I liked some of the other fun ones. My sister was big on the orange soda, so I think I would reach for a Dr. Pepper before I would have gone for a Pepsi or a Coke if it was an option. But I did really enjoy the root beer barrel candies. Those were the root beers that I liked.
Well, some people like to let the cat out of the bag. We like to let the dog out of the box. Come along with us. All right, y'all, we have a bar soap of Birch and Root from a previous order that Sean had thrown in and we had not smelled yet, so we're going to whip that out on today's episode. And here's our box from the Shave Supply here in California. Y'all, look at that label, that little mad scientist working his magic. Christmas, stay tuned. Look at the fumes coming off that thing, and he's not even working with a hood.
I know, I kind of want to sip. It looks extra fizzy.
I'm curious if this is more modern with the anise and sort of a cinnamon kick in there, or if it's more sarsaparilla, old school root beer, but
that's what I'm
who knows? It's time for a first impression.
I'm guessing it's more the root beer side, not the root beer floats. That's what we always had at our house, so just the root beer-ish.
Although, you could mix this with a little vanilla vendetta, couldn't you? Back when computers were new and it was way easier for real estate agents to pay teenagers to do their work for them. I used to work at Security Pacific Real Estate, and the office next to mine had a Bark's root beer machine. Well, so as the foremost authority on root beer in this house, I will go first. And the thing I liked about Bark's that the other root beers did not provide was a nice kick of caffeine. Am I right?
I'm guessing this is decaf, but take a whiff.
My uncle's a doctor. He claimed you could taste the caffeine. That's what gave it that bite. All right, taking it in. Here we go. And y'all, if you are new to the game, MacDuff's gives you one of the softest soaps in all the business. It is fabulous. All right, taking it in.
It's been a while since we've had a MacDuff's.
Y'all, hold on a second. I have a deep place in my heart for wintergreen. And while I love Sterling's Glacial Wintergreen, it hits hard. It's a Mike Tyson punch. It's the real medicinal wintergreen. It's not the kind that you were used to from your lifesavers at Christmas. This is my wintergreen haven. Y'all, hold on a second. This is what wintergreen was meant to be. I'm thinking it has a wintergreen spine, but the sarsaparilla and the spices and everything else swirling around it definitively make it root beer by the end of your whiff. Okay, the wintergreen is met with something subtly sweet, but it doesn't go all the way to the mug barks kind of root beer of our childhood. But that's what keeps it natural and lovely and, y'all, wearable. Oh, and as it goes up, it does meet with something creamy, but it's not vanilla. It's more like a sandalwood kind of a cream that helps turn this almost into a cologne type of thing. Almost.
Are you getting any of the anise stuff
100%.
going on? Okay.
Yeah, that's all of those spices in there. Maybe clove approaching cinnamon is kind of how they do it. I get a beautiful dark orangey brown color when I look at this. And here's the thing. It's not really root beer. It's more like root beer deconstructed, so I can sense the spice, I can sense the root, I can sense the sarsaparilla. Oh, and then birch. There is something extra in here, as I was mentioning, something outdoor, something cold, something Shifra.
So you don't necessarily want to take a sip out of it,
No!
but that's okay.
And isn't that wild? Because Sean could make a gourmand out of a horse saddle.
But he is the king of taking things and making them smell so real you could just step into the soap and be there.
There you go. If there was a root beer forest,
There we go.
that's where I'm sitting. It's leafy and green in the wintergreen part, which is what keep it from diving down into becoming a soda syrup. Super bracing and super natural. And beautifully medicinal, like the earliest aftershaves. Think number 6. Think those kind of things.
Okay.
There was just something so natural, but so naturally soothing about where this takes me without having to leave the medicinal lane. These aren't trying to smell beautiful and oody or tobacco-y or anything else. They're there to let you know that they're doing a job. But the way they all come together is beautiful. And I did used to buy that Henry Weinhard's bougie root beer from Costco.
Yeah.
This has a little bit of that creaminess and a little bit of a honey sense under the surface of that too for me.
So that's about as sweet as it kind of gets, maybe.
Right. Hold on. This is something you only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the buyer's remorse whiff. On 3, 1, 2. Oh, right. Well, that's why this is cool. The more I smell this, the more separate the notes kind of become. But I love that because then it invites your nose to step back and go, that's the wintergreen, that's the root, that's the this. More old school turn of the last century barbershop for me than it is a root beer. And I am adoring that. The medicinals in here are giving me life. Take it in. See what you get. See if you find that wintergreen first the way I did.
Let me see. Oh, it is a nice dark blue.
If you want to tubload this, you have to sign a waiver, Foxy.
Oh, I like that it's called Birch and Root. There's something like way back to the original recipe of a root beer that I get immediately. It must be the anise side, but that's to me as dark as this scent gets. And then you're right. Something goes a little wintry. I think it's a blue spruce or something if I peeked earlier. Well, we'll see when we get there. But that's not the only kind of woodsy green side that I'm getting to this. It is like walking out the front door of like a winter autumn cabin or something. The snow hasn't hit yet, but you get that full whiff of everything around you, and it's just so inviting and somehow like cozy and warm because of the spices in here. Woo! I am a little jealous of the new autumn cabin label. Just saying, we don't have the MacDuff ones.
If you made a poster, Lainey would probably hang it in the bathroom, Sean.
T-shirt, anything. We'll take it. Wow, I dove in looking for the wintergreen, and I totally get that now. It's definitely more subdued than the one you were mentioning from Sterling, but it still brings on that crisp coolness in the air that almost makes my mouth want to water because it just doesn't know how else to digest it, knowing winter is here. But it has that like sweeter wintergreen side that's in here too.
It hits me in the nose with a palm punch, y'all. I love the wintergreen in this.
There's no menthol, though. Like, my brain wanted the menthol that comes with the other wintergreen, and I was like, wait, hold on, wrong category. So if you want it without the menthol, this is fun.
You want to stay inside the cabin where it's cold outside.
Yeah.
We are referencing, of course, Sean's infamous cabin series. He did the 4 seasons, a Christmas cabin, a Halloween cabin. Then he burned one to the ground for Sloppy Badger. Maybe he'll do a barbershop cabin for us someday. A barbershop soap. Just saying, Sean.
I'm so glad we waited to open this in November. We had gotten it a while back and somehow things got crazy. It just didn't feel like a spring scent to me. And I'm so glad we waited because this is exactly the description of like the fall cozy cabin vibe. Like I want to be inside, but have the window open so I can smell all of this outside.
For me, this is the smell of the onset of winter. Yeah. It's a cold whiff for me, and I love that. Well, cold without menthol is not all that easy to do. There's nothing minty or menthol in this, but it is brisk in that wintergreen.
It must be after reading saying that he split it 50-50 with essential oils and fragrance oils,
right.
Because I feel like both of those are meeting so well that it seems real. Like it almost feels like it really is a real place. Like you said, if there was a root beer farm, I'm there. But then there's another part of this that the scent kind of stays with it longer. That must be where the fragrance oil kind of helps it have a little more nuance of where things are settling together.
My grandpa had to waste his farm on soybeans. Boy, if we could have had a root beer farm, that would have been an E-I-E-I-O.
There's almost some sort of an effervescence thing kicking in. Mm-hmm. It doesn't quite go as sweet and gourmandy. Like, I think that's where this is more the natural recipe. I like how it's sitting, though. I would not turn it up at all.
Right.
But my brain is still getting something that is kicking in as like an effervescence. So it's almost like you've been seeing on YouTube and other things how to make your own sodas with taking the pine needles and putting them in and closing it. Like, I almost feel like if they were making a root beer from nature's kind of goodness, right. That's what this would turn into.
All right, y'all, come along with us. We're going to add some water, see if we can make our own root beer and make y'all a lab. Oh, I didn't look at these at all yet. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at MacDuffSoapCompany.com. We start with
Birch bark. I get that texture. That's
I do
crazy.
Too. Rugged, a little bit dirty. And then blue spruce. Y'all, what a fabulous take on an evergreen. I think this might be my favorite sort of pine foresty type of scent so far.
But look at that next to these next two. Fir balsam and fir needle.
You could make your Sprite.
That's what I'm picturing.
Oh, and then I was wrong. Clearly, there is some vanilla in here, making this maybe a tiny bit of a root beer float. Is that what you were getting?
You know, it's more the natural vanilla. I don't think it quite goes like tonic. So somehow it's staying in, just kind of smoothing the edges so it doesn't get too pokey with the firs and the woods kind of hanging out in here.
I think it's just kind of being used as a little bit of a sweetener without having to put its full vanilla personality in here. It's not like a vanilla bean kind of a thing.
Yeah, take a whiff, see what you get. But I think it's kind of in the mid for me is where that's kicking in.
Yeah, it's just sitting on top a little and slightly under the wintergreen, which is, I think, helping to take the edge off of it, because that's what's next. Wintergreen!
But it's blended so well in here, it's almost like the secret weapon. If I hadn't read that or you hadn't said it, I don't know if I would have pulled it apart, but it gave me that kind of fall to winter cozy vibe.
Well, I bring you glad tidings of great joy, because our noses are getting very different things on this one. When I open this, I am bowled over by a tidal wave of wintergreen, and then everything else starts swirling around it. Maybe because when I was 9, wintergreen robbed my house and took a bunch of my toys. Oak moss did too.
We still got a few more things here. We're going into a little more spices.
Right.
It just says spice.
Figure it out.
Pick it.
But I would say some allspice is in here. Clove, ginger, anise kind of a thing is where this is playing without going gingerbready somehow, because the next one is ginger. Beautiful, bracing. You ever had raw ginger under your nails or hit your tongue? Ooh.
Hello. And this is, you were right. There was a cedar wood, something that was just kind of tame. Not sandalwood, but a cedar wood, definitely kind of blending, calming things down for the little exit whiff.
I'm taking credit for that.
So now going back to what he was saying earlier, that it's kind of inspired by the more traditional recipes, including anise. So I'm guessing that's in the spice list, and evergreen. So put that in next to the fir needles, the spruce, wintergreen, all of them in there. They're hanging out in a winter forest.
That's why I'm glad we opened it now. And spare no expense for my beloved. A gift to her on her wedding day was this beautiful solar flare brush. Have you tried this one yet?
I have, but I'm glad we busted it out. I wanted to show our friends here. This is like the lightest color knot I think I have from PAA, though.
And where'd you get this beautiful custom resin bowl for less than $30?
This is from Vanulay. If you look in the center of it, she's even got her logo in there.
Sent one to Doug Lane this week in farm colors because I found out he didn't have one. And y'all, this soap is the perfect consistency for this bowl because it needs a little bit of a tight hug from those honeycomb ridges. And I'm just going to hit this with a little boozy water and let my beloved go to town.
I'm already smelling more. My goodness. This is one of those lathers I just want to take time and inhale as I'm building it because it just smells too good not to. So taking my dry brush onto the soaps here, trying to get it onto the little bristles. I'm going one direction, other direction. And after I feel like it's not really getting onto those bristles, I'm going to turn the brush and keep digging in there, getting it out of those little honeycomb divots.
We're not trying to build a lather yet. We're just transferring the soap up onto the bristles. Then we're going to build our lather in a minute. And I've noticed it works a little better for me if you don't dive down and grab all the water at once. Once the soap's loaded onto the bristles, then just start kind of grabbing little bits of that water at a time and bringing it into the paste. We never want our bubbles to get too big and then we have to make them smaller. I don't think it works as well that way. I like to start with the most minuscule bubbles we can and build out from there so they never get too big. Nothing ever gets frothy or foamy. It's funny that it's birch bark, not birch wood. The birch is giving a little bit of a dirty sense here.
I don't see a root here either.
Huh.
I mean, I smell it. I feel like it must be here, but...
Probably because cedar is the root of all trees. Something like that.
I'm smelling wonderful things here, but I think it did kind of stay a little more of like a tan color. It's kind of hard to tell next to this brush, but it's not exactly white.
And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the birch or root with on 3, 1, 2. Oh, the wintergreen is way more subdued here. I get it. I get it.
Yep, it's much more of the actual birch and root portion coming through.
Right.
That kind of sarsaparilla spice action.
Now I'm getting the sarsaparilla in there. That's beautiful. And it doesn't go crazy deep. Yeah. I don't think this is all that masculine or really feminine. I think it's more of a place. I think it's more of an open air root beer wintergreen forest.
I'm with you, yeah.
And it's cold. Bring a sweater. And we saw Sinatra Lennon had dropped a video the other day. We love seeing our friend Brian on YouTube. And while we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, we do want to show you what this lather looks like when it coats and covers a moneymaker. Look at that, y'all. I kind of want to see if it's going to have a little bit of a cooling effect. Are you feeling anything yet?
Not yet, but this would be one to add a little menthol into just to add that chill factor. Like it's root beer on ice, you know?
Right. Oh, this brush is a splay monster. I need one of these.
It's super soft, but it really covers the ground there.
Nice. I've got one badger that's like a sponge. And when I push down, it's like, you're not going to splay today.
It was fun to bust out the Autumn Cabin one, Hollowed Sky, some of the other ones during fall season. But now I'm getting a little more excited for Candy Cane coming up, another Winter Cabin going on, Christmas Cabin.
Santa's Cheer.
Yes,
in an EDP. Sean, my 50th birthday's approaching. Is it me? Stop. Is there a floral toward the top of this? Just a tiny sweet to offset the vanilla, to bring things together. One bloom in the snow.
Maybe. Are there blossoms on any of these trees? I don't know. There is something sneaking in here it might be the vanilla helping. Something's coming off that little Christmas at the top.
And come along with us as we go below the root and look a little deeper. And y'all, on our last order from MacDuff's, Sean threw in a bar soap of birch and root for free so that we could experience it in a slightly different form. All right.
Ooh, look at how dark that is, y'all. Okay, diving in. This one seems a lot colder outside.
Yeah?
Kind of creamy finish. Almost that floral you were talking about. Like, it's still got part of it in there, but it does have a little different kind of a hit at the end.
Hold on. Just got a little water to wake this up. All right. Oh, yeah. Less evergreen for sure. Smell it with the water.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's still a great fall / almost winter bar to have in the shower, my friends. And these last forever. We had Santa's Cheer, and it was like 3 months in. I'm like, I think that's the same bar.
It was Easter. And y'all, since we know Sean is a brewmeister, we thought it might be interesting to look at the earliest recipe we could find for root beer and see if there are some commonalities with this beautiful soap. So what we found starts with
sassafras root bark, sarsaparilla root, and birch bark.
So far, check.
Check.
Licorice root, anise in there, ginger, root, vanilla, beans, allspice, star anise, coriander, spices, and then wintergreen leaves. Sean, he's recreating the earliest root beer recipes. Y'all, sweeteners are molasses, brown sugar, or, what did I say?
Marcus is right.
Honey. I think it's in there. And then bakers or brewers' yeast.
Oh, for the carbonation action. Okay.
Boil it for 30 minutes and keep mixing all night long. Strain it and sweeten it. Then cool it, add yeast, and it ferments in the bottle.
For 2 to 4 days.
Well, that's easy enough. And we complain when the 2-liter bottles of Barks go on sale for $1.50. This method results in a slightly alcoholic beverage with a thick, foamy head similar to the traditional root beer sold in pharmacies and confectionery shops in the 1800s. Modern commercial root beer, in contrast, is terrible. Does it say that?
It's interesting as an adult because as a kid, you just thought that was a flavor, root beer. I don't think we even realized where it came from, how it happened. That was just like another flavor, 7-Up, whatever. But it is cool to look back and see like there's an actual history and recipe to what it really started as. We just had to add a lot more sugar and put a little more vanilla ice cream for some root beer floats, you know?
Remember when we found out Coca-Cola was actually a citrus beverage with like 15 different aromatics in it?
I'm kind of glad this is our first kind of root beer oriented scent. We have some that are kind of like a cream soda action. We have some Coca-Cola ones, a little Mountain Dew action.
But look at my face. We certainly do not have any other soaps that smell like root beer.
But I would reach for this one, not because of a gourmandy kind of itch I needed to scratch. I think it is more that fall cozy spice action, my friends.
And it is funny, just to draw a comparison to clown fruit, I think the thing inside a clown fruit, deep down inside, that it might share somewhere with root beer, is a lot more of the absinthe wormwood kind of side of things, where this is definitely more the sarsaparilla, wintergreen side of things. Clown fruit has no wintergreen.
But blue spruce, we only have one other one that we've really read that scent note, and it's fun to have it in this one too, to get to know it in a new perspective.
Blue Moon Bay Rum. And y'all, beautifully present in here, and I would say at about the same type of scent as is in Blue Moon Bay Rum.
Yeah, it's funny because my brain almost gets like a burgundy color, and then part of its echoing is like, is that a blue or a green? Like there is another color that comes to mind, and that must be one.
That's the floral that's coming across for me. It's inside the blue spruce. That's the floral sense.
I really enjoy, like you were saying earlier, that there's different chunks to this scent, and it just keeps spreading out because it really does. I feel like I get whiffs of each little chunk, but it's the magic blend that Sean is so good at that really stays with you the whole whiff through.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus, freshman in high school, reporting to work at Security Pacific Real Estate after a long day of classes at school. Well, luckily, there's going to be this incessant hum of refrigeration from the office next door. They're going to have the world's largest Coke machine with all kinds of delicious libations. If only someone would invent a root beer with caffeine in it, and then they did, and you got your own. So, head over to MacDuff'sSoapCompany.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Birch and Root. And you know what? On this show, we've spent the last 3 years discovering how Sean can make a gourmand out of anything natural. Well, for me, here he's made something natural out of a gourmand. I know Sarah got a lot of root beer, but I don't. I get the birch, I get the root, I get the woods and spices and a walk through a cold forest on a crisp Christmas day. And I love that. And in one of the best bases in the business, Sean MacDuff, thank you. We'll be back down Candy Cane Lane pretty soon. Bienvenuto a massage.
So for our November giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Barrister and May.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email. Here to we sent you at the barbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first December episode to see if you are a lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Well, I think the takeaway for today is that we've got an artisan that can take any form of cabin and make it smell edible. Give a beautiful gourmandy edge to just about everything. However, when he does actually have to create a gourmand, it's not going to have a hint of gourmand in there, and that's why we love Sean, Mysteries and Wonders.
This is actually giving me more vibes of the Herbalist or Market Days, something like that. Like it's taking me somewhere where there's real things that I'm smelling, and I just want to keep taking whiffs all day.
Yeah, but even those had like something nutty or gourmandy under the surface.
Yeah.
This doesn't. This doesn't make my mouth water at all, but I can't wait to go shave with this.
Yeah, you don't like to eat black licorice, do you? That is not something on your list.
Or anise, really, or anything like that. But it doesn't mean I don't love them as medicinals in the shave locker.
That makes complete sense. I know a lot of people used that as throat lozenges back in the day, and I kind of have a little bit of sore throat, so maybe this is just really working to make things a little better for me. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.